Okay, so basically this video has no introduction. I'm just going to teach you guys how to do the backside and front side pop shove it. Now, probably you guys already know how to do this trick already, just doing the shove, but we're going to be doing this trick with the pop, heads to turn, pop shove it. So let's get started. So before getting into the pop shove it, you need to have a good solid ollie. Just get comfortable, just doing ollies around the ground, doing the moving and just, popping the tail really hard so that you can pop them as high as you can. And then from there, you can start getting into the trick. So in terms of foot placement, your front foot is going to be, pretty much at an angle like this, or maybe just like semi straight like this. This is how I like to put it. And then your back foot is going to be around here between like on the right, directly on the tail, or maybe like on the edge of the tail, like on the tip, right about there where I'm pointing, so that it will give it a good scoop of the 180 rotation as you're doing it. So how this trick is going to work is that you're basically using your back foot to do the whole thing, and your front foot is just there to help you guide, which I'm going to explain. So when you're doing it, you're going to snap the tail and just give it a subtle pop and a scoop. But you want to scoop it enough in order to get it to do a full 180 rotation. You don't want it to be, like too little like this, or too much, like that, which will end up going in a 360 rotation. As you're popping the trick, your front foot is going to be up in the air, and it's just going to help guide. So you're going to be moving your front foot. The seagull just interrupted my video, man. Sheesh. As I was saying, your front foot is going to be up in the air, and it's going to follow along with the board, because when you're doing the pop shove it, this trick tends to go a bit forward when you're scooping it. Now from here, it's going to be doing the 180 rotation, and your front foot is going to be following along, and you're going to be catching this trick with the front foot also. So you want to make sure that you're eyeballing where you want to aim to land your front foot on the board, and that area is going to be somewhere around here, so like around the bolts area. And then from here, as soon as you catch that, your back foot is going to be coming along with you, and then from here it's going to be like landing somewhere around here when you're doing it. And that's the pop shove it. So now we're going to go over the front side pop shove it. Now it's the same principle as the backside pop shove it, but this trick tends to be a little bit more tricky because you're going to be pushing the board in front of you, which is kind of hard to control when you're first learning them. So from here, you're going to be placing your back foot a little bit at an angle like this, because it will help to give that perfect, push when you're scooping it backwards. And front foot is gonna be the same thing. My board is pointed wrong, but you get the idea. So from here, same principle, you're going to be pushing the board backwards this time. Not too much, not too little, just enough so that you get the full 180 rotation. So you're gonna be doing that, and from here you're gonna be, well, you really can't eyeball where you want to see, but your front foot is going to be aiming towards the front bolts of your board where you're landing. And just like the backside pop shove it, your back foot is going to follow along. You catch it, and then you roll away. And that's the front side pop shove it. So this is what your feet are going to look like when you're doing the pop shove it. So my front foot, it's a little bit like this. Sometimes I like to keep it straight, but for this video, I'm going to put it at an angle like this. And then my back foot, it's just on the tail or on the tip, like so, like just about there. I'm going to do this drill on how this trick is going to go, and to practice, catching it with the front foot. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to practice my popping, doing the 180 scoop, and I'm going to try and catch it with the front foot. That's basically how you want your backside pop shove to go. And then once you start getting used to the catch and everything, you can start, putting it together. That was a sloppy one, but it was first try. So that's pretty much the idea on how to do the backside pop shove it. Now I'm going to show you at a different angle. So my front foot is here, and my back foot is right about there on the tip of the tail. And you will see at this angle how I pop my pop shove it to give it that perfect 180 scoop. Now to go over the front side pop shove it. So front side pop shove it, front foot, same thing, foot straight or at an angle. And then my back foot this time, if you notice now, my back foot is more at an angle. And that's going to give it that perfect 180 scoop when I'm trying to shove the board behind me. Okay, that wasn't popped, but notice that the 180 rotation was nice and perfect. It wasn't too much under rotated or too much over rotated. It's just enough to get around so that I can catch it with my front foot. Now I'll show you at this second angle again. My feet are placed and I want to be pushing the board, a bit behind me. Notice how with the backside and frontside pop shove it went a little bit forward, but it didn't go too much because obviously, I kind of like have this trick kind of down, but it just varies over time. Now that we've gone over how to do the trick, let's go over the main problems. So one of them basically is just not rotating enough. Sometimes your pop shoves will be right here, or maybe you're over rotating it, and sometimes it will be, in a 360 shove it. So just practice on making your kick, subtle and just enough to make it to go the full 180 rotation. Another common mistake is, just practicing on how to catch it with the front foot, because again, with this trick, it tends to go a little bit forward as you're doing it, and you would be thinking that this trick should stay like under you the whole time without moving. Well, with tricks in skateboarding, sometimes you'll have to like go with the board, whether it moves along forwards or backwards or not. So you just gotta make it, adaptable, and then over time you can, kind of control how you catch your tricks and make the board like stay mostly under you the whole time so that you won't have to move around with the board too much. Another common mistake with doing the pop shove it is probably you're just pushing it into a shove, which is fine. Just remember just to like kind of give it a good snap when you're popping your pop shove it's, and you're good. And with that being said, guys, that concludes this tutorial on how to do pop shove it's. I hope it helps. And I probably didn't need to use my phone as a recorder because I thought it was windy earlier, but the wind was like minimal, so I could have got away with it without using this phone. But hey, sound quality is good. All right, guys, see you in the next video. Goodbye.